We're starting this week a new book of Torah. We start the book of Bamidbar, which means in the desert. It tells the story of the desert wanderings. In English, we call that book the book of Numbers because it starts with a lot of numbers. God tells Moses to take a census of the people. And when the instructions for take a census, that's how we like to count everybody. The Hebrew words that are used for the census are se'u et rosh. I'll tell you what that means in a moment. I know Rachel Ehrenstein's got it, but the rest of some of us will catch up in a moment. Se'u et rosh. When it's time to count, it's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's se'u et rosh. It's lift up the heads of the people. When it's time to count, it's not like heads down, thumbs. Do we still play heads up, 7 up, right? It's not heads down, thumbs up. We'll count everybody. In order to count the people, we have to lift up their heads. We need to see their faces. When it comes time to take a census of the people, it's not just about the numbers. It's let's see everyone. Let's look them in the eye, name them, learn their story, learn who is here amongst us in this congregation. And when we see the faces, when we lift up each head to give confidence or presence, to let people know that they've been seen, then we have done the sacred work of identifying and building community, ready to take the next step together. That was our job then at the beginning of the wanderings. And while we wander here in Westchester, that's still our job. To lift up our heads, to see each other, to know each other. That's why we take that like chaos time at the beginning of services, because we need to see each other. We need to know each other in order to be part of community. It's why the rabbi is constantly bothering you to tell you to bother Ginny and find time on his calendar to talk in the office or at Starbucks or at your house or on Zoom or going for a walk around the neighborhood. He might get sweaty, but he doesn't mind. He'll do it with you anyway. So that we can know each other, see each other's eyes and faces and stories, and do the sacred work of joining together in community so we can take our next steps forward. The journey that the Israelites take in this book is arduous. It's challenging going from Egypt, making our way to the promise. There are missteps, and they meander and wander and find great joys and make mistakes. But when they do their best job, when they see each other and see themselves and know each other as community to take the next steps forward. That remains our sacred task. Se'u et rosh, lift up the heads of one another so we can see each other, know each other, and take the next step forward in our sacred work together. And while we count the people, we are still in the midst of a sacred counting. In just a few days, we will arrive together to Shavuot, our festival of receiving the Torah, counting the days from the sea to the mountain, counting up 7 weeks of 7 days, 49 days until we make it to the mountain, until we receive that task, that mission, and that calling.